Junkanoo, Junkanoo it's a very important cultural event in the Bahamas. It's the most important event, and it happens twice a year on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. And it's a parade that starts in the evening at 10, and it goes on all night until 8, 9 in the morning. It's very intense. Music, costume, groups, dancers. It's really, the energy is unbelievable. So one twice because you really have to be there on those 2 days to photograph. But in 2 occasions, I got a pass for photographers, and I was able to follow, all of them in the streets. And I spent all night there, and it was really fantastic. Very difficult to photograph because it's either very low or very bright, because there are these big lights to illuminate the streets, and then they move constantly. So it's really, really challenging to photograph. But some shots came out particularly good, and these are some of them. And for me, it's also one of my favorite, because I like the colors. I like the face of this person, that it's almost, you only see the face, and then all the rest is colors. And the face is the expression is very powerful, very serious, because they take it seriously. They take it very seriously. It's a tradition that goes back since many hundreds of years, has to do with the slavery, and the fact that they were free to celebrate only 1 day, 2 days a year on the 26th. So they started doing costume with newspapers and what they had, and then with the years they evolved, and now it's a whole a new level of the costumes are amazing, and the competition is very, very high. So it lost a little bit the original spirit, but this really, it's a very good aspect of the spirit of the people of the Bahamas. Their musicality, their energy, and their willingness to forget everything. Because many of these people, they live in shacks maybe, or they're not, they have very difficult lives, but they come all together and they live all year round for this moment, for this parade. And actually, unfortunately, this year it's not happening, and it is very sad, because it's also a way to keep the community together, and to give them something to to believe and look forward. So these are all different moments of those parades, except since we are here celebrating life, it's a funeral. So that was the funeral of one of the leader of a Junkanoo group, very important person in the Junkanoo community. And so I was happening to drive, and I found this huge crowd dancing and singing. And actually, I asked, what's happening? It's a funeral of Gus Cooper. And then that's why I called it Celebrating Life, because they see death and funeral not as a, of course it's sad, but also a moment to celebrate the life of the person that just died. This lady was really, really, really funny and really, really sweet. And I met her at this festival, the Pineapple Festival, that happens in this little island called Eleuthera. I don't know if you ever heard. And Eleuthera is home of the sweetest pineapples on the planet. And so they always do this party. And I was there, and I met her, and and she liked me since the beginning. So we started talking. She wouldn't leave me for the whole afternoon. So we had to, you know, move around together. I felt like was my girlfriend. And so she was really funny. And so I took a few photographs of her. Alvina is her name. And yeah, I think this really expresses her sweetness and still joy of life, you know. There is an area in Nassau, it's called Over the Hill. It's a very depressed area where a lot of, you know, the living conditions are very, very poor. But there is a lot of, there is some crime happening, but there are also a lot of very proud, nice, friendly people. Just, you're not really recommended to walk through those areas, but I do, because I can't help. I had to do it. So with my little naive, I just walked around with my camera, with my shorts. You know, everybody kind of looked at me like, who the hell I was, what I was doing. But you know, I managed, and then I got to this at the corner of a street, and there was this guy working on his little shop, and the color, the blue of the room was beautiful. Is the old Singer machine, his shirt. I loved everything, so I got a little bit acquainted to him. We talked a little bit. So I was able to take some photos without interfering much. This is was such a peaceful, fantastic moment in Cat Island. Cat Island, it's a very remote, deserted, undeveloped island, more than any other islands, but beautiful. So I think it was during Christmas time, and I was there in a little cottage by the water, and I woke up early. I woke up early, and there was a long beach, and the sea was completely flat, and the colors started to pick up as the sun came up, and then this woman arrived from another cottage, and gently went in the water and walked in, and was just perfect scene. So I was, you know, glad to have the camera with me, because those are the moments that you cannot really say, oh, wait a second, I go get my camera. So that would be so late. And I love the dress, the swim dress is just perfect. It matches with the water and the ripples. So this really express tranquility and a way of starting the day for her, very peacefully and quietly, to find some energy to face the you know, the day. And that's but you need to be lucky. So I think photographs, we were talking before about the you know, what makes a photograph great, and it's just timing, and because the same photograph without her would mean nothing. I took this photograph many years ago, I think in 2012. So even before, I was still in the phase of, I didn't know what I was doing with the camera, but I was traveling around. I was in this island, Eleuthera, and driving the car. And when I saw this woman, I had to stop. So I stopped the car, I came back, and I had, you know, I tried to talk a little bit just to make her feel a little bit more comfortable, because taking photographs sometimes it's difficult, you know, when you photograph people. It's a difficult balance. But anyway, without going there now, so we talked a little bit, and so she became to be photographed, and she told me. So I asked, "But what are you doing there?" dressed like a Sunday. I think must have been Sunday, because otherwise they don't dress like this. And so he asked what she was doing. She said, "Oh, I have to be here reading my Bible because my husband is inside the house that it's behind, and he's drunk, and so I don't want to be with him." So that's what she said.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I
So
really,
that has a whole layer. That's has a whole layer of something else. That's yeah.
yes, that's really a moment of authentic, because you're really going into if, the life of a person that tells you. So this photograph tells you that she finds strength in the Bible, and she doesn't feel like arguing with her husband. So the difficult of daily life, but she finds some sort of peace in reading the Bible. Actually, it's a very religious country, the Bahamas. So, and this is really testifies that. Yes, that's. So I was glad I stopped, because sometimes you see scenes, but you have to stop. You have to, especially, it's not easy all the time. There are so many photographs that I missed because of laziness, or because of, I said, okay, never mind. But sometimes I'm glad that I stop, I go back, and I take it.